Hey folks, what's the hype about? Today we take a look at the new Fender Telecaster Ultra. So as most of you know, last week, first week of November, Fender put out a new series of guitars called the Ultra series, and it's all the talk on the internet, and everybody's got an opinion about it. Some people like it, some people think it's too expensive, some people think Fender didn't do enough to improve their Elite series, because it used to be called the Elite. As most of the people that follow me know, that I'm more of a Les Paul type of player, but I do like Telecasters quite a bit as well. So those are the two types of guitars that I tend to gravitate to, which are Teles and Les Pauls. So I was quite intrigued with the new Telecaster that was coming out because of some of the features that were announced on it. Some of the new, more modern specs, more on par with some of the boutique guitars out there like Suhrs and Tom Andersons and Friedmans and so forth. So I was quite intrigued with going to check out the new Fender series, which I did. So let's have a look at it. I did end up purchasing this one, the Fender Ultra, and this is the color that I really think is the standout of this new series. This is they call it Texas T, basically, and it's very unique color, not something that I've seen on too many guitars. So I think Fender's really done a great job on this finish. The other finishes are really nice as well. They've done all the finish work that they've done on their new series is really, top notch. But to me, this one is really something that I haven't seen done much in the past, and I really gravitated to. I always like binding on guitars, and this one has that as well. And on the Telecaster, it looks pretty sweet. So this, and as you can see with the light, depending on how the light hits it, it can look black, or it can look more like a root beer type of look on it. And with this pick guard, it really kind of sets it off. And the pick guard is kind of an aluminum feel to it, a brushed aluminum feel to it. So to be quite honest, with me and the pick guard, it's taking me a little bit of time to get used to it. And it's not because it's, looks bad or anything of that nature. It's just, for me, the feel of it. The texture is different than any other guitar that I own, which has more of a plastic feel of a pick guard. So when I'm picking or whatever, this is kind of, different. But I'm getting used to it. I've only had the guitar for a couple of days, so the more I play it, the less of an issue that seems to become, in my opinion. Some of the features of this guitar that really intrigued me when Fender announced it last week were some of the body carves. To me, were specifically where the neck pocket is. It's really a recessed kind of carve here, which makes it really comfortable to play when you're, in this area here. You're kind of coming from a Les Paul, which I love, and that's still my go-to guitar, but you definitely feel a difference if you're doing any type of more intricate lead playing in this area. You feel that difference where the neck, if you can see, if I can bring it to light, see with the light, you can kind of see where the carve is really deep. And this is what the boutique manufacturers such as Suhrs are doing. Tom Anderson guitars, specifically some of the Telecasters that I've played. Friedman, they don't usually do that cutaway as much, but those other boutique guitars that I've played, they really focus on giving you that playability comfort in that area. And this Fender has gone even further, because I do have a Suhr Telecaster, and that's going to be a video coming up as well, where I'll be comparing both of these guitars to see how they stack up, because there is quite a difference in price when you compare a Suhr or a Tom Anderson Telecaster to this new Fender. So it'll be a nice comparison, I think. But Fender has done a great job here with making this cut. And also, I do like having that nice aggressive kind of belly cut there. It makes it really comfortable to play. And here you can see in the light, you can kind of see the color a little bit better. Great tuners on this guitar. They've gone all out and put some great tuners. They are locking the Fender Fender locking tuners on that, if you can see that. They work great. Changing strings and stuff, if you've got locking tuners, you know what I mean. It makes it a breeze. And I can tell you from owning this guitar now for a couple of days and playing it, for many hours, that this thing is rock solid as far as tuning. The story I like to tell people now is, well, when I purchased this guitar, it wasn't even out on the floor. The shop that I went to had just received their shipment, and they only had a few that were out on the floor. And I asked them if they had this specific color, because this is the one that I was really looking forward to see. And they had to go and get it out from the back and take it out of the shipment. And they gave it to me direct from the box that way to go try out. And I'm telling you, it was set up spot on. The action is great. I mean, it was even in tune, if you can believe that, coming out of a box through a shipment that travels many miles in a truck or something. It was in tune. And I can tell you that since owning this guitar, I might have tuned it 2 times, if that. And I've been playing it quite a bit. So the tuning stability on these Telecasters, I don't know, being that it's a pretty straight string passing through. The nut is cut perfectly. It is a bone nut, which is another nice feature of these new Ultras. And it's cut perfectly for these strings. There's no binding whatsoever. So very, very impressed with that part of it. Very nicely done on Fender's part. So let's talk about the pickups in this instrument. These are the new generation noiseless pickups, and they sound great. And I've played the Elite series as well, which had the previous version of these pickups, and they sounded, equally as good to me. These apparently have a little bit more mid-range in them. I haven't compared one to the other like side by side, but I can tell you that playing this guitar through the system, and I play through a Helix most of the time, and I've got different patches so I can run different amp sims to really see different guitars in different rigs to kind of compare, what works well and what maybe doesn't work as well. And these pickups are, really, really well. They have that telly sound. The cool thing about this one as well has that S1 switch, which is just a switch that you press here on the volume control. And what it does, it gives you, I look at it as more of a boost when you're in the bridge position or in the neck position. It's kind of more, it's just kind of a nice boost, and it boosts the mids even further, so you really can cut through a mix a lot better. If you put it in the center position where you've got both pickups going and you hit that switch, it kind of makes these two pickups combine and be more, have the characteristics of a humbucker. So, which is really nice. So they've done a great job. It gives you lots of flexibility as far as tones go. I use these instruments basically more for recording purposes. I record my own music. So having different tools in the studio as far as that goes to get different tones is nice. And this really is a very versatile tool in that area. So another good point to talk about. Let's talk about the neck now. And this was, and I can show you, you can see that it isn't a very thick neck. They call it a D, kind of a D profile. And it's beautifully finished. I was very impressed with the quality of the finish of the neck. It's a smooth satin finish. Not raw wood by any means. There is, that soft coating on it just to kind of protect the wood. But other than that, it's very, very smooth and soft. Fender has gone the extra mile here with what they've done with this neck. And what I mean by that is I've played a lot of different Fenders in the past couple of years. And, some of the necks felt good, and you could tell sometimes that the quality was not always there where the fretwork was, there was edges or, some of that stuff that you do find on some guitars. With these new Ultra series, the ones that I've played, and this is no exception, this one here, they've really, I guess, focused on getting this right, because the neck is actually, or the fingerboard is kind of carved in a little bit, which gives you a beautiful feel when you play these guitars. And that's the way the Friedmans and other boutique guitars do their necks as well. They put that little carve in there, which makes it feel almost broken in a little bit, which gives you a really, really comfortable feel. The fretwork is immaculate. They're nicely rolled in the edges. I would say that these frets are maybe medium jumbo, not too tall. So this is what I prefer in a fret. So, you know, nice smooth action throughout. So kudos to Fender on what they've done with the neck as far as their quality of it and how they've paid a lot of attention to little things like rolling edges and things of that nature. So very, very impressed. This is a rosewood fingerboard as well, which is really nice. You can see that it's a beautiful, you know, different kind of shade to it. But for a while there, I think Fender's, because of all the rosewood issues, were using other materials to do their necks. And I always prefer a rosewood fingerboard. So very, very nice to see. What else can I tell you? The bridge is chrome plated, but it is a brass bridge here, which is really nice. Gone the extra mile. So that's the new Fender Telecaster Ultra. I mean, there's tons of videos online. I'm not, you know, I wanted to just give you my take on it, my opinion. I purchased this guitar. This is my personal guitar. It's not something that was sent to me that I needed to review or anything of that nature. This is, you know, I was looking forward to looking at and trying out the new Telecasters when, you know, I knew something was going to come out either this year or next year. And I was waiting for that more modern feel coming direct from Fender, not necessarily a boutique. And the other, you know, when I talk about boutique is we're comparing very different price points. I'm in Canada, and this guitar in Canada sells for $24.50, I believe, plus tax, right? So it's not cheap by any means, but when you look at the Sir that I have, a Sir Telecaster in Canada sells for about $3,800 to $4,000 plus tax. So quite a big jump in the price. And I like having the Fender name on this Telecaster. To me is a Fender, but I could never find one that could compete with these other boutique manufacturers. And I just liked stuff like this carve and some of the more modern features of a guitar to be on this shape and have that Fender name on it. So Fender's really, I think, answered that call now. And I would say that I'll do a comparison video with my Sir Telecaster with this one and show you, you know, side by side how they sound, some of the differences, if any, and where this one excels over that one and where the other one excels over this one, and then really see if that price difference, you know, is warranted. So with that said, I'll probably be doing a couple other videos on this guitar with more focused on, you know, maybe playing, showing you some of the tones. I always find with doing videos like that on YouTube where you're trying to show somebody how a guitar sounds is a lot different when it comes through YouTube. So I'll do a little bit of that just so you can hear it. But, you know, sometimes I'll listen to a video online and somebody will be playing this beautiful Les Paul and it'll sound great. And then the next video I watch, it could be just a standard Les Paul, not even, you know, not custom shop or anything. And I don't hear a great deal of difference. And that's just because coming through YouTube and how YouTube compresses audio frequencies and so forth, it's really hard to tell. With anything, I always suggest you go to the store, have it in your hands, play it, listen to it with your own ears through an amp that you would probably be playing at home, or if you're using a Helix like I am, you know, have similar type of setups so that you can really tell what they're about. But I will do another video and show you the tones and going through the pickup switching and and so forth. But just to keep this video modest in length, let's just say this is the introduction to just kind of giving you an overview of what this guitar is. I didn't show you the case, but I mean, the case is another real plus if you're buying an Ultra Series guitar. They give you a beautiful case. It's a nice Fender molded type of case with the logo on it, and it's really high-end stuff. So you'd expect that paying, you know, over $2,000 for a guitar. You'd expect to get, you know, a great case. It does come also with the oops, there we go. with a little pouch that has, you know, the Fender logo on it. It's a nice leather pouch. It comes with a pack of strings, so that's nice as well. Give you a pack of strings, and it does come with strap locks, and it's the Shaler strap locks, and they've got the locks that put on the straps on there as well. I don't use that type of strap lock. I use the Ernie Ball version, so I will be installing my Ernie Ball strap locks on this. But it's nice that Fender has included a nice little kit. It does, you know, some tools in there as well with that guitar, and the beautiful case as well. So with that, I'll leave it there, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you like this content. I've got tons of other contents. I do a live stream on a regular basis where we have more of a Q&As and demos and so forth, and it's live interactive. So if you're into that stuff, check out my channel, check out the other videos, and subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified when a new piece of content goes up. I put out content on a weekly basis as well. And with that said, keep an eye out in the next week here with more comparisons with this and the Sir, and maybe some sound clips and so forth. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and until next time, get out there and play some guitar. Have fun, folks. Talk to you later.